Hello from Slide Nerd and hello from Vibs. What's up, folks? In the last vid, I showed you the life cycle of an activity in action. We saw when these methods were called and what happened, what was the order and everything. So I used something called logcat in this vid. I'm gonna be building up basically on what I did in my last vid. So first, I'm gonna tell you what a logcat is and how it works. So logcat. If you guys saw this window and you saw a lot of messages over here, for example, it says on resume was called, on pause was called, and all the stuff like that, right? So just like your system.out.println in your normal Java program, you have your logcat in your Android apps. Now you can use your system.out.println, but it is recommended by Android developers that you use logcat for debugging and for printing messages and seeing how your program works, all right? So remember, the logcat is used for debugging purposes. Print different messages using the android.util.log class. Now this is the actual Java class log which does the task of printing stuff. So it has some methods. For example, this is the most commonly used method, log.d string tag string message. Now you're wondering what this tag and what this message means. Message, you can obviously make it out. It is something like on create was called, this is your message. Now this tag, this is what is lifecycle, and as you can see it appears under this tag section, right? So that's what your syntax is. When you say log.d something plus something, it appears as the tag over here and the text is over here in the text section, right? So now with that being said, for example, I have printed this out, log.d lifecycle on create was called, and that is exactly what you see over here, which is highlighted in the red box. So let me go ahead. Now there are other methods, log.i for informational, log.e for error, log.w for warning, log.v for verbose. Now you're wondering what is the difference between all this. Actually there's nothing much difference except the color. Now take a look, E is in red color over here. You can see the level. When it says D, that means log.d was called. It says E is log.e, log.v, log.i, and warning I have not shown over here, but warning is yellow in color or probably light orange. I don't know exactly what the color is. But remember one thing again, logging uses too much memory and CPU resources, so make sure that when you make your app completely and you're actually putting it up in the market, ensure that you remove all the log statements or at least comment them out. And again, you can have your log messages from real devices too. Now this is one of the benefits for using logging, all right? So now let me go ahead build with this. So now let's build upon that activity life cycle which I showed you in the last video. Let me actually show you the diagram of how it looks. You have seen this diagram way too many times, guys. Trust me on this one. You have seen this on developer.android.com. Here, there, so many places. There's nothing new in which I'm going to show, but it's only going to be a different and an innovative way of showing you things. So here, the user first launches the app, on create, on start, on resume is called in quick succession, right? At this point, your app starts running. This is what the user is interacting with your app. He's doing things, he's having fun, he's playing a game. All these things come under this place where it says app is running. And after that, your dialog comes in between and your on pause is called because it's partially blocking your activities view, right? And then it goes back to on resume when you eliminate the dialog. When you click OK on the dialog, it goes back to on resume, right? And again, if you start another activity, then on pause and on stop both will be called. You have seen all this in that live demo which I showed in the last vid. And last but not the least, when Android doesn't have enough memory or when you manually call finish method inside your activity, your on destroy is going to be called. Now there is one more thing. If you see over here, if you go back to your app by saying, by clicking the back button or something from another activity, then it's going to call on restart and it's going to call on start and on resume, right? So now, last but not the least, there is one thing I have not shown you in the demo, and it is this. When you change the orientation of your activity, like if you remember, your Android devices run in two modes. When it's the portrait and the landscape mode, if you switch from portrait to landscape or vice versa, what happens is everything is destroyed, all right? It goes on pause, on stop, and it goes destroy, and then it goes back to on create, on start, and on resume. Now I'll be demonstrating this in an upcoming vid when I also talk about two more methods, on save instance state and on restore instance state. So for that time, I'll save that for then. So by now, you guys have a clear understanding of how the activity lifecycle works. In the next vid, I'm actually going to jump inside Eclipse and make this program in front of your eyes, and you're going to see it run, all right? So if you like what you saw, please subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Have a nice day.